Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mop. It's a Friday morning. And, the weekend is here, and it is going to be a fun-packed weekend here in the area. Boaz Fun Days. If you want to watch a bunch of people that haven't played softball in a while, and quite a few of them have. But pretty soon you'll see some gloves that are dusted off, and, anyway. I'm glad I don't play a sport like that again now. I loved softball in the 90s. So much fun. But now you're seeing shaved bats, and you're seeing anybody and everybody able to hit home runs, and it's somewhat of a joke, I think. I find it just, it's what it is. It's what they've gone to now to make, whoever feel great about being able to hit home runs. And to me, it was always fun to play the tournaments and where home runs were outs, or so many, you were only allowed so many, and put a limit on them and see who can really play softball and who can hit the ball where they want to. That's what I would say there. But that's not what we're talking about today. It's time to look forward on the Mop. Can we quit talking about 2020? Can we quit talking about elections? Fraud, stealing, theft, whatever. Can we just quit talking about it? Our president seems hung up on trying to prove that the 2020 election was stolen. And all the evidence he's bringing up proves that maybe his last election was stolen. Or the other one, or the next coming one, or whatever it may be. Let's just get over it. But that's probably part of his plan, because I'm sure he's going to try to figure out some way to either run for a third term or whatever it may be. But let's quit talking about theft and stolen elections. And rigged, or whatever you want to call it. Let's face the fact that you lost and move on. And how about you fix the effing problems we got going on now? Gas is still back up to where it's going to skyrocket again. Diesel's going to go high, so guess what else then goes high? The cost of your groceries, the cost of this, the cost of that, delivery services. It's ridiculous. Let's focus on the future of the United States of America and not the past. Let's focus on trying to make changes. Let's try to focus on getting people to work together instead of dividing everyone. Let's work on trying to get where families can afford to be in enjoying life. When you're starting to see candy bars and stuff that used to be $1 when I was not that long ago, now are $3.50. Like a Carmelo I looked at the other day, $3.50. Like, are you kidding me? In a convenience store, granted, but bags of chips, pop now, Chris, you shouldn't be drinking that. Okay, look at Aquafina or any of the waters then. Look at the price of those. Go out to eat sometime and see what you can do with a family of 5. Well, you shouldn't go out to eat if you can't. Every family deserves to go out to eat once in a while for a special treat. I remember that as when Arthur's was the big supper club when I was little. This is back, I'm talking 78 to 80, somewhere in there. That was for my birthday. In the kids' birthday, we'd get to go to Arthur's for a meal, and it was like, oh wow, that's awesome. So we didn't eat out all the time. Like now, it's almost impossible, because to me, going to a grocery store for cooking for just 2 of us, now that our house is empty, is just about as expensive, or things go to waste, just as bad than going out to eat. However, the costs are astronomical. For you that own restaurants and everything else, kudos to you for battling through and continuing to do it. And if you're not on top of your game with quality, and that's really about it, and serving and having decent service, you're in trouble in this world today. because of what you're paying for a meal. When you now look at half-pound burger baskets with, fries and things, $16, $17, you go, holy smokes. Yes, I understand. But chicken strips or anything, all of it's going through the roof. And then I saw yesterday, oh, did you see the price of eggs? It's so cheap. Now, nobody should go hungry. Well, look at your diet plan and tell me that that's all you eat is eggs. Tell me that that's how that works. But then try to tell me how all these guys that are doing delivery and own their own semis and things like that costs aren't going to skyrocket. And yet we're focused on what the hell happened in 2020. Move on. Get over it. Oh, and by the way, there's no gash in the reflection pool. We found that out too now. That was the drain. The only real damage they saw were tire tracks from a motorcade that came through there. I'm just tired of it all. And people still buying in and saying, oh, greatest president ever, greatest this, greatest that. Everything is good. Oh, my 401k has never been higher. Well, congratulations. Congratulations that you are able to have, and I mean this seriously, congratulations that you have a great 401k and things are doing well for you. From my bottom of my heart. I mean that totally. Some of us don't have that luxury. And that's our own faults. I get it. I'm not blaming anybody for that. And yes, I'm still paying for my student loans. I'm still making payments on those. My money came out of my checking account the other day again. So I'm not asking for free forgiveness of those. I'm not asking for any handouts. But at some point, shit gets tiring. And for us to spend the money we're spending on useless shit as a government, and to me, what we're doing over there in Iran is a useless waste of money. We need to focus on the healthcare and what our needs are here. When there's people stepping up to make sure there's no kids going hungry or no kids, look at what a list now of what parents have to supply to schools. Kleenexes, pencils, because all the teachers are asked to supply that stuff for their rooms now. It's kind of sad and asinine at the same time. Just don't get it. I don't understand how you're buying into this administration. And, oh, by the way, if you're an older gentleman now in the military, Mr. Hegseth wants your testosterone tested. Yeah. We should probably test that in the leaders of the House and the Senate too, right? We should have that test done. Anybody still hear how Mitch McConnell's doing, or are we just okay with him on leave for a month and a half to 2 months or for however long? No words there, I'm sure. But to test testosterone, what are we doing that for? Are we going to a heavy, bodybuilding championships or something? Or it was funny that it was only the military and not actually the House or the Senate or anything like that had to have it. And why? I know probably more women in the military that are probably tougher than a lot of the men that are in the military. But you're not wanting them in there. But I have a feeling that that's just not what it should happen. What the hell do I know, though? I sell stuff. That's all I do. I sell stuff, think things through, and makes me just irritated of what I'm seeing from this administration. And his whole thing last night, did anybody tune into that? I didn't. Oh, and the dollar gold coin. I can tell you how many I'm going to buy, and you probably know how many of them I'm going to buy. Dollar gold coins with his picture on it. About the same amount of Bibles I bought, watches I bought, phones I bought. Zero. So that's where we're at today. I got comments on my one yesterday of my food truck debate, and I appreciate that. I got private messaged, and it meant a lot to me because I feel that ordinances like that are not a bad thing. Kind of like noise ordinances. Kind of like an ordinance should be made about your yard full of shit and you don't want to do anything about it. And you just feel that it's your property so nobody can tell you what to do about it. So you can have a house full of shit, porch full of shit, everything's full of shit, and make it look bad. Because there's no ordinance that says I can't have otherwise, or have 37 vehicles in your yard and strewed all over, not in any form. I'm not saying nicely organized. I'm saying there's shit laying everywhere. If you have them all lined up and you have them organized like it's somewhat of a salvage yard, that's one thing. But if you drive around, you see shit laying and trees growing through things and whatever else, and you're near a body of water or whatever it may be, yeah, you're the ones I'm talking about. You drive me nuts. There's no probably real big ordinances on, I don't see ordinances being followed through on with our big farmers around the area where they spread shit so thick, and they're near waterways. You can't tell me that it's not affecting the water level or the quality of water. My mom lived in Gotham. Her bacteria level was so high that I had to shock the well and everything else twice before I could sell the house. Where do you think that bacteria came from? Just up in nowhere? Yeah, I'm not happy about it. I think these big farms have ruined a shit ton of stuff, and they should be having to have, incinerators and that kind of stuff to instead of pumping millions and millions of gallons into the earth. Because I feel that it's destroying our water system. And that's just me. But what do I know? Like I've said before, this is my page. That's just my opinions on stuff. And some people don't like me, and that's okay. I'm not asking for hugs from everybody. I don't need hugs from everybody. But when you see people just disrespecting everything of where we live, and drive through town sometime, drive through Richland Center with ordinances. There should be ordinance. And then, the dead vehicle one is always fun. Because in Buena Vista, I was told that I needed to talk to the Buena Vista Town Board about dead vehicles laying around and things not taken care of, because it's Buena Vista's problem. I went to Buena Vista. Buena Vista says, we don't have anything. We go off of Richland County. Well, that's weird, because Richland County told me I needed to talk to Buena Vista. Nobody wants to get together on this stuff because nobody wants to ruffle feathers. Grab the chicken by the legs and ruffle all the feathers you want. They need to be ruffled. It's kind of like yesterday's input on food trucks. Richland Center has an ordinance on it. Some of it's not installed or enforced. Some of it is. The fee is, from what I read there. But it's also, I get the pop-up little stands and everything else. Well, Chris, it's just Boy Scouts doing, brats and hot dogs. Okay? Then find a business to do that at. Find a business that you can do your brats and your hot dogs and things at. Are they regulated? Are you sure the burgers are cooked to the right temp? Are you sure everything's being safely handled? Well, now you're getting ridiculous. Well, not really. People's health is important. So the weird thing about that is these guys that have food trucks, the ones that you're talking about that you're going to scare out of town with $100 ordinance fee yearly, probably don't have any of that good quality equipment to keep everything safe or inspected. The ones that show up and come to your town probably have all this stuff and they'll be okay paying the $100. And then you say, oh, their menus. No, they won't. But can we look at the future of things? Can we look ahead? Currently, we can't, because for some reason our administration always wants to go back 6 years and try to move something different or try to make different points. And what really scares people about the LGBTQ community? What really scares people about that? Have you been hit on? Is that the problem? Somebody tried to hit on you thinking you're cute? I don't understand why your rainbow flag scares so many people. And I still don't understand why you have problems with them marrying each other. Well, Chris, it's not in the Bible. It's just not. It's a sin. Do you know how many other frickin' things are a sin that this nation does? That seems to blow by people, by the way. Affairs, all that. Sexual assault. I'm pretty sure all that stuff's probably there. But we're not holding people accountable for that. Because he's the president. And he's a good one. And he's the best ever. Are you shitting me? When we start holding people accountable, then we may see a difference with people working together. But the only thing we can do right now is badmouth the other person running against you. And then when you try to tell me what you're going to do, you never do it. So let's look forward. I love the statement always of why the windshield in your vehicle is bigger than your rear view mirror. Because looking forward, you need to see everything. And you need to see, looking behind you is not that important unless you're trying to change lanes and move forward. Then you look behind. So that's why your rearview mirror is smaller than your windshield. Look forward. Try to get something to going that's better than what we are doing right now. So, anyway, enjoy Kaz Fun Days. That's Cazanovia's got their stuff going on. Boaz has their stuff going on. Should be a great weekend around the community. Golf tournament at Quail Run today. Shane Szynski and them are doing that. That should be a good outing for people. I wish I could have golfed in it, but I had other things to do, and such as work and a few other things. But good luck to those guys golfing in it today. That'll be awesome. It can be hotter than blazes, which means the beer better be cold. And softball and stuff, I think, starts tomorrow night. Mini pullers tonight in Boaz. So I may venture that way at some point. I can get there with the Terex, I know that. So may venture that way. We'll see. But to all of you, have a great day. Have a great weekend. But take time to look forward. If we keep looking behind, pretty soon we get turned around. And that's not good either. So take time to bless somebody today. Have a great weekend. And wish everybody a safe weekend. No drinking and driving. Don't be doing that. Get a ride. Catch rides here and there. And go from there. We'll talk soon. See you Monday morning for another edition of The Mop.